welcome back to my channel. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate you and love you and thank you for supporting me each and every week. Today I am going to share with you this cute little witch gnome. Got cute little hair, cute little hat. If you want to know how to make her, stick around. I'll show you how. Okay, these are all the supplies that you're going to use for this, and I've listed them in the description below. I'm also going to use some 6-inch black tulle, and I use some air dry clay for the hands. Okay, let's get started. First, we're going to go ahead and cut out our hat, and you're going to come over the edge where you have that little triangle piece, and you're going to meet that edge with the inside edge of that triangle. And so you're going to go all the way up to the top and glue that in. Just try not to mash on it when you're gluing it because you don't want a seam down, you don't want a line down the sides of your hat. Okay, next I'm going to take a piece of 1/4 inch trim, and I would recommend using an 1/8 inch instead of a 1/4 inch on this. You just need a lip to hold that hat brim on. So just going to go ahead and glue that all the way around and then cut off the excess. I don't have an exact measurement on this, but I think it was about 12 inches. And then you're just going to slide your brim right over the top of that, and that's what's going to hold that in. And you don't even have to glue this part. So we're going to make the shoes, and I'm just taking 2 6-inch, 1/4 inch dowel sticks. I'm going to cut them at 4 inches. And then I'm going to sharpen them, and I'm just using an oven baked clay for this. I'm going to take my foil. I'm going to take 2 5/16 inch nuts and put it inside that foil. And that's going to give us the weight for our shoes. And then on the shoes, I'm just taking a 1-inch ball and I just rolled it up and I'm just flattening it out. You can see that's a 1-inch ball. And then I'm just going to wrap it around that foil to hold that in. And if you put the foil inside, you end up using a lot less clay. So roll it up in a ball and then we're going to mash it and we're going to start shaping it kind of in an oval shape. And then once I get it completely shaped, I'm going to roll the front part of it so that it has a smooth finish on the front. And then just go ahead and take your dowel stick and push it into the back of it. Make a big indent in there. And then take some oven bake adhesive and put it in there and put your stick back in. And then I'm going to bake these at 275 degrees for 15 minutes. To make the dress, just go ahead and cut your pattern out, and we're going to add a bead of glue down one side, and then we're going to fold the other side over to that side and let that dry. Now I've given you the pattern for this in the description below. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and cuff it up 1/4 inch. We're just going to make a hem on the bottom of it. And I am using a stretchy fabric for this pattern that I'm giving you. You definitely need to use stretchy fabric. I don't think this will work with just a straight cotton fabric. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and do the legs, and I'm taking a 2-inch by 7.5 inch piece of fabric and I'm gluing down on the 7.5 inch side on both of these, and then we're going to turn these right side out. And that's why I was saying this is probably not going to work with a straight cotton fabric because you do need some stretchiness in this to make this be able to turn right side out. And I'm just going to take a safety pin, put it into the top edge of this, and I'm going to run it through the center of it up out to the other side, and that's where you can pull your casing through. Now don't pull too hard, otherwise you will stretch your fabric, and you don't want to stretch your fabric out of shape. Okay, do that same thing to the second one. And we're kind of giving her little skinny legs. Okay, then we're just going to attach these to the legs. Just go ahead and put your stick on inside of these, and we're just going to pull them down kind of slouchy like. Just gather them on down there. Next, we're going to go ahead and push our sticks on up into our styrofoam cone. Just put them in the center and space them apart. But we're not going to glue them in yet. We're just putting them in there for fit right now. Okay, now we're going to turn our dress right side out. And we are going to cut off 2 inches off the top part of it. So it will slide over the top of our cone. And this is going to hang over the edge of the cone about 1/2 inch. So pull it on down there. And then we're going to go ahead and make the petticoat. So we're taking a 6-inch by 28 inch piece of tulle. and just going to go ahead and gather it up. So just take some needle and thread and you're just going to gather it up. If you don't have needle and thread, you can take a small wire and run it through there as well. Okay, now that we got that gathered up, we're gonna go ahead and lift the dress back up, and you can just go ahead and take the dress off because we're gonna do that here in a little bit anyways. And just gonna go ahead and put this around the waist and tie it off in the back. We want it to hang over the edge, probably about an inch. Just take that one side of that thread and pull it through and then just tie it off in the back. And then go ahead and get your gathers kind of spread out evenly. And then we're gonna come back in and we're gonna add a ribbon over the top of it to glue it in. Just kind of pull it tight around there because you want that to stay on good. And then just clip that off in the back. I'm just taking a piece of craft foam to put over the bottom. So you can just cut a circle out and we're going to glue it in. And then we're going to cut a little hole where our legs were so we can find those here again in a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to take a little piece of craft foam and I'm just going to trim out the top edge of the little shoe. I'm going to go ahead and pull my fabric back, and that's when I'm going to glue my fabric to my stick. So figure out exactly how much you need, and that's about 1/4 inch. So pull your leg on up there, glue it in, and then we're just going to put that piece of craft foam right over the top of that fabric. And do that for both of them. And then I cut out these little bats that I'm putting on here, and I'm going to give you the SVG for those, or you can cut them out by hand, but just put 2 little bats over the top part where we put that trim. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put my legs on in there. Just pull them back, and mine ended up being about 2.5 inches. So when you glue them in, you can make them however long you want to, but I did mine at 2.5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it back out, and I'm just going to put some glue inside there to put my stick back in. And I'm pushing them in about 2.5 inches. Okay, next I'm just going to go ahead and take a ribbon and put it around the waist. And I'm putting it just a little bit below where the petticoat is. Okay, next I'm going to go make the hands, and I'm just taking an air dry clay and this little hand mold. Spread it open like that to push your clay in, but just get a lot of clay in there at first, and then you can start peeling it away at the top of it so you can get your shape. So I'm going to go ahead and start peeling it away so you can see the hand, and then you can go ahead and take it out and let it dry. Just kind of spend some time on this, and you can get it shaped up there pretty quick. And these dry pretty fast. Okay, then just go ahead and take it out, let it dry, and go ahead and do the same thing with the other one. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of wire into each one of these. And I'm doing that right after I take them out of the mold, so it goes on there quick and easy. You don't want to wait till it's dry to put that in there. And then add a little bit of glue. You can use Elmer's glue or whatever, but you make sure that you glue it in. Okay, next we're going to make the hair, and we're going to cut 2 pieces of faux fur at 1 inch by 3 1/4 inches. And then clean off the excess with your fingers. Don't comb through this because I think it ruins this style of faux fur. And then I'm going to cut another little piece for the bangs. And I don't have an exact measurement on it, but you can measure between where you're going to put your two sides, and then you can put that one in the middle. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and glue them in on both sides, and just go up above your dress fabric on both of them. And then we're going to put our hat on to see where our little bangs go. I'm just kind of spreading them out on both sides, and then I'm going to put the bangs right through the center. And that's probably about a 1/2 inch in length piece. I don't know how wide it is because I didn't measure it. So just go ahead and put your hat on, and then put that up there against the edge of that hat, and that's where you're going to glue that on. Okay, next we're going to decorate the hat, and I'm just taking the 6-inch tool and I'm measuring it at 12 inches in length. And then I'm going to fold it over, and then I'm going to fold it over again, so it's folded 4 times. And then go ahead and take your needle and thread and go ahead and gather it up. Just kind of making a rosette here. Okay, once you get it gathered up, we're going to go ahead and join the two sides together. And we're just going to stitch right through them all the way down. And then just go ahead and tie that off. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and attach it to the hat. And I'm just attaching the bottom part where we actually sewed up the two sides together. That's going to be on the bottom. Put a little bit onto the back part of the rosette. And then we're going to go ahead and attach a flower to the center. And you can decorate your hat however you want to. This is just what I came up with. And then I got a couple more of those bats that I cut out. And I'm just going to put them on the hat too. So just kind of fold them over and just glue them on if you're going to use these bats. Okay, then I'm just adding a little one to the brim. Next, we're going to go ahead and do the arms. They measure 1.5 inches by 6 inches, and I'm gluing up the 6-inch side. And just try to get a small bead of glue because you need to have the casing open so we can turn it right side out. We're going to do the same thing we did with the legs. We're going to take a safety pin, hook it onto the end, and then drag it through. Okay, after you get it turned right side out, then we're going to go ahead and take a pipe cleaner, and we're going to fold it in half, and we're going to run it through. And then do the same thing for the other one. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and paint my hands. I went ahead and mixed some light gray and some white together just to kind of give it a real light gray finish on the hands, and paint both sides of it on both of them. Okay, we're just going to turn the underside of the sleeve on the right by where the arm is going to go, just to kind of give it a finished edge there. And then when you put your pipe cleaner in here, just put a little dab of glue on the pipe cleaner and the fabric, because you want to make sure your pipe cleaner is glued in as well. And then go ahead and put your hand in there and glue it in, but do make sure that you glue your pipe cleaner to the edge of the fabric so it stays in. And then just do that on both of them. And then we're going to make like a puffy sleeve at the top part of the arm. You just want to make sure that that puffy sleeve, when you glue your arm on, that it's low enough that it does not interfere with your hat. So just kind of put it up against the body of your gnome and see exactly where you want your arms to go, and make sure that that top part of that puffy sleeve is not inside the hat, but the smooth end is. And then we're going to cut those off about 1 inch, and we're just going to glue those to the styrofoam on both sides. And I'm probably gluing them, where I'm gluing them is right at the tip edge of where the hair is. Then I'm going to take a string and tie it around just to hold them in place. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on the inside part of the hat and put the hat on. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the nose right up underneath where the hair curves. And then I am going to glue the top edge of that hat to the brim part. And then I've got a Dollar Tree little broom, and I'm just going to cut off the end of it and cut off the top part of it so it's the right size. So kind of figure out exactly where you need it to be. And then I'm just going to glue that right in between her two little fingers. Okay, guys, I hope you liked the video. She turned out super cute. If you like these kind of videos, hit like. If you want to see future videos, hit subscribe. If you want to be notified when I have a new video, hit the bell. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.